Next on Deck with Tim Black.
Because, I mean, I just didn't like the optics of a convicted felon sitting in the White House near a fireplace. I didn't like it.
The election is over. Now we enter a phase called the transition. This is typical. This is what happens every time when there's a change of power. So President-elect Trump goes to the White House to meet with sitting President Joe Biden. And they have a sit down. They have a talk. They discuss statesmanly things. But of course, we got to have a focus on the drama, because if we didn't focus on drama, even if it's got to be manufactured, we got to focus on it, because without it, well, there's no reason to watch shows like The View.
Welcome back. President Biden made repeated warnings about the danger of you-know-who and everything he poses to democracy leading up to the election.
And you mean to tell me they're going to still play that up about the existential threat? Guy won. He won.
He spent his campaign insulting Biden, so a lot of Americans apparently were surprised at what happened when the two met face-to-face at the White House. What did they think was going to happen? A knockdown, drag-out? Watch the clip.
I think Trump would win. All Trump would have to do is fall on him and it'd be a game over. Come on now, we both know Biden would break like a bunch of toothpicks. He'd break like popsicle sticks left out in the rain to rot and then dry it off. And then he'd break like a number 2 pencil. But, luckily it doesn't come to that. And yeah, you're right. Trump and Biden went at each other. Trump won. He won when they went at each other, and he just won the presidency.
Clip, please.
Well, Mr. President-elect and former President,
thank you.
Donald, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And looking forward to having like we said, a smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today.
I appreciate it very much. A transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get.
A lot was said on the campaign trail, like Trump is a dangerous threat to our country and our democracy. Was there an apology today?
What he says still stands.
Yeah, it was meant to try to scare you out of electing a guy, and it obviously didn't work. But we stand on it because, well, what else can you do? Yeah, it just goes to show you how phony this whole damn thing is. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, if you thought someone was really a threat, now they become president, wouldn't you have like a duty to try to take them out right there? I mean, if you think this guy's taking over the government, about to take away all the rights of all the citizens in the country, if he's supposed to come in and sabotage America and destroy it, like you've been saying for months and months and months and months, wouldn't it be Biden's duty as a civil servant, as a leader of the free world, as a president of the United States, to neutralize that villain, neutralize that terrorist, neutralize him? Wouldn't it be his job? Huh? I mean, that's what the guy's asking, Corinne. I mean, I'm just using better language because I'm not boring. But I'm just saying, isn't that the purpose? See, that's what you got to admit, guys, and this is the reality of it all. You have to admit that what we're dealing with is a bunch of nonsense. This is a WWE fight. Is that real? Of course, we got people on Twitter and YouTube and Facebook and TikTok losing their minds because they don't understand that all of the fear-mongering the Democrats did about Trump was just that, fear-mongering. Pretend. It was working so well with a bunch of you that they just kept it up for 10 years.
And it's not just him. You heard this from former staffers?
Yeah, people he fired. I wonder what your ex-boyfriends will say about you, Corinne. Especially if you dumped them. Yeah, they might have some different words about you. And especially if talking negatively about you could put some money in their pockets or make them famous. Yeah, do you understand? Get where I'm going here with this? You always take with a genuine, a big grain, not a grain, a bone of salt. Anybody who's getting paid, whose notoriety depends on dumping on someone. Yeah, no one will talk to these people that are so disgruntled after working with Trump, who have so much negative things to say. No one would talk to them if they were praising him. That's not how the corporate media works. Okay, up to this point anyway. Now, the negativity pays and stays on the waves.
What we want to be also very clear about is the importance of listening to the will of the American people.
So, I mean, perhaps Biden was doing what he does. You know, he's been in a long time. So, you know, smooth transition means smooth transition. Did they think that it was going to be he's going to say, yo, what did you say about me, punk? Pow! No, that wasn't going to happen. And, you know.
Of course there weren't going to be any violence, Whoopi. That's basically not even a harsh word exchange. Why? Because it's all a fabrication. Just like this show, The View. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all exaggerations in order to attract viewers. Like any other show, any other fantasy show, any other fictional show on television.
I say women age better. That's just my...
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'm looking at the panel here, and I beg to differ. What you could say is makeup works. Right, Joy?
They look like a couple of old guys.
Well, they are a couple of old guys.
Two old white guys living in another century.
They are old white guys, and you're an old white lady. I don't know if you realize that, but that's what you are.
And it's the smoothest. It's going to be the smoothest trend, like greatest, smoothest. I can't see he's given to hyperbole. That's an English term for souping it up, and that is Trump.
It is Trump.
Thank you for the English. And by the way, how you're saying that?
Hold on a second. He says the smoothest transition. It's smooth. What's wrong with that? Is Sonny about to talk? Oh.
That Biden should have been nice, not as nice, right?
No, I think that's no. Some people are saying he shouldn't have been. He should not have been.
But they have gone so low that there's nowhere to go but up.
Why should Biden not be nice? You got rid of him in the Democratic Party. What else was he going to do? It's a big screw you to the Democrats. I mean, why would he not be nice? Thanks a lot. Thanks for beating Kamala. You think he really wanted Kamala to win? Are we still stuck on stupid? Oh, that's right. It's The View. We can't say anything that's actually real. All we can do is hype up nonsense in order to give viewership on a bunch of erroneous stuff that no one cares about. It's got to play up the tension and try to gaslight. But we can't put forth the real, actual something that's rooted in reality, like, maybe Joe didn't like the fact that Kamala stepped in here and put a nose in. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't like what Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats did to him. Maybe he's not rooting for you. Maybe he got his wish.
That's true.
It was the right thing to do, and it was always what Joe Biden was going to do. And I think just as Barack Obama extended him the courtesy. But I get why so many Americans didn't listen to warnings from people like me and others about our concerns about.
Because you used to work for Trump and you got fired too, so now you come on this show because that's the only place that would take you. It's a show that you get to bash Trump, even though you're a Republican, right? Because we know that that's a caveat that you are only doing it for money. And we know you're only doing it because that's the only way that you would get a job. So no, we wouldn't listen to you. Not at all. Only an idiot will listen to you, Alyssa.
About Donald Trump, because what they see is a political season where Joe Biden says he's a fascist, a threat to democracy, and they think, oh, it's just a hypercharged political season. It's like WWE. They're going to go crazy, but then it's all kind of fake, and they're going to shake hands.
Kind of fake? It is fake, just like you guys are fake. A bunch of actors pretending that they are, you know, a part of this thing, and they're defending justice and they're speaking up to empower the masses, when all it is entertainment. You are a news entertainment show. Not here to inform people, not here to educate people, not here to report facts, but to report your point of view, which is a far left, like a centrist Democrat, vote blue anywho type message. And I think they're going to change that soon. And you might be going with them if you don't become a right-winger again.
At the end. And I do think that some of the public sees this and they're like, okay, so was that all totally overstated? Or was he just saying that to win or to scare?
Yeah, she was saying it to win, and of course it was overstated. Like I said, if it was true that Trump was such a threat to democracy, why aren't you stopping him? Why just send Kamala out to deal with him? If that's the case, you send your biggest, tallest, strongest person out to fight the guy. You don't send out Kamala, the person that's proven she get knocked out in the first round in 2019. She did like the worst of all the candidates in 2019, and you send her out? Come on, Johnson. It makes no sense. So if he really was the threat that you all say he is, and Trump was the threat that everyone is saying he was, you should have put more of a defense against him. You definitely shouldn't be having a hold-down handshake or whatever. A meet and greet with smiles and back slaps.
People about
this
Trump.
Is what you do. You show up, you shake hands, and you prove that the democracy stands.
And you prove that you're a bunch of corporate hacks, that you are just running through the motions, that all this was smoke and mirrors and a lie, and that people that were sitting at home, upset, frustrated, stressed out, wondering if this is the end of democracy, civilization, the country itself, well, they can calm down now because now they realize, no, it wasn't.
Voters decided, you show up and you pass it off. And
unlike
I think
he did.
But there are a lot of people having this conversation, and I would say that faux rage of like, this is normalizing. That moment is gone. You can stand by who you voted. I still think he was a threat to democracy purely because the thing that got me was the inability to accept the election results, to peacefully transfer power. So I can sit here today and say, I still think that, but this is how it works. This is what we do.
And by the way, I totally agree. I'm just giving the perspective of people who look at this and are like, wait, was Biden serious about
Well,
this?
I certainly looked at it like that because, I mean, I just didn't like the optics of a convicted felon sitting in the White House near a fireplace. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it. I like locking people up. I'm a former prosecutor, and that's what I did. I lock people up, and I like saying the word convicted felon, convicted felon, convicted felon. And that's part of the reason why you lost, by the way, Sonny. People like you help them lose. You are a loser. You help them lose because this whole focus of convicted felon wasn't enough because when you say convicted felon, people looked at the stuff he was convicted of, and they noticed that there were no bodies. There were no bombs planted. Well, there was nobody brandishing a weapon, shooting at people. Yeah, you were talking about a bunch of trumped up, stupid little charges that should have been fines, if anything, or not even brought at all. Waste of time is what they were. These were you guys. Look, no charges were brought against Donald Trump until he filed to run for president again. People get it twisted. They think he ran for president to try to stop the charges. No, he started running for president, and then all the charges sort of materialized. Wonder why? Because they were politically motivated. That's why. And that's what people need to wrap their heads around. And they don't want to wrap their heads around it. They don't want to accept reality because they are conditioned because they watch shows like The View. So what else would they believe? Certainly not the truth.
But what are you going to do about it? I didn't love it. And I think when Biden said that he was a convicted felon and had the morals of an alley cat, I agree with that.
Yeah, and Biden was the crime bill guy that locked up a lot of poor and black people. And you didn't have a problem with it at all. You went right along with it. And so did Whoopi, and so did everyone on that panel, kissing Biden's ass. But you want to talk about Trump's convictions. You know what? If there should be a law against throwing away the key on a generation of people from drugs you forcibly put into their communities via COINTELPRO programs by the United States government against its own citizens, notably the black community. But, hey, we won't discuss that because that's real. And we don't talk about real shit on The View. We talk about stupid stuff. And we deny any involvement or any participation in propaganda. Well, that's exactly what Sonny Hostin does every day on The View. See, that's me keeping it real, and they don't want to keep it real on this show.
But I also agree with the notion that Biden is a statesman, and this is how it's done.
That's my point.
He is trying to model for President-elect Trump.
And we'll get rid of them.
He won. And now the fuming continues. Oh my God, I'm so upset. See, this is how it works, guys. There will be nothing but a series of people complaining from here on out. It's going to continue. It's time for the resistance, and now all the money that will be made, all the money that Democrats will attempt to make will be raising money to fight Orange Man bad. And now it's just a repeat of what happened. We're in 2016 all over again, and expect them to go for the big dollars again. Daily broadcasts of how evil Trump is and how he's going to destroy America. Yeah, man. That's the game plan, man. And Joy is setting herself up for a true smooth transition from The View to some other the sky's falling type situational show where she gets to play that up every day. You know, it's funny. These elites who are so pissed off and so afraid and so scared of Trump being president because it's such an existential threat. I wonder, when are they leaving the country? When are you leaving the country? Aren't you about to go? Aren't you tired of this? Aren't you afraid? You need a safe place to raise your doggy, raise your family. Last time I checked, we just had a few of you, like Don Lemon and Joy Reid, decide to leave Twitter. Yeah, that ain't exactly the same thing as leaving the country. Yeah, so pack your bags and leave. I get it. He's scary. Bye. Word on the street is that The View is going away soon, or they're replacing all of their hacky hosts with all of the Sunny, the Joy, the Oprah, the Whoopi, for people who are a little bit more reasonable when it comes to Trump because, well, there's more viewership in it. Did you like this show? Hope you did. Check out my next one. This is the one that YouTube says you should check out because, well, it's going to be right up your alley. Click here and don't forget to subscribe for more Tim Black Show. Peace.